Hey, welcome back. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to remove the paper pulp off of each one one at a time. So I have my little water jar here, and I'm just gonna apply to the back, and you just use gentle circular motions, and you can start to see it coming off. That. So usually you can also use like a rag. I prefer to use my hands at first because it's nice and gentle, and then if it is having a hard time with the paper pulp coming off, then I'll use a rag. You can start to see the image appearing. This is a really tedious process, but I really enjoy it, and it's worth it in the end. And some pieces will be missing from the final image, but that's kind of the beauty of transfers. They never turn out perfect, so yeah, you can continue to do this until there's no paper pulp on the back, or there's no white paper left. If your image does appear a little foggy or has like a white film on it, just try rubbing it when it dries a little bit more, and then that's when you can also use a little rag to rub off the rest. Usually takes about 2 to 3 passes depending. And if you like that foggy look, then you can just leave it, which is totally cool. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna speed through this part, so because it takes a little while. Ooh, I like how that turned out. Oh my god, I love it. So all of this is like the first pass. The second pass is getting off these little, like, I don't even know what to call them, little tiny bits of paper pulp. And then, so see if it's dry, you use your hand. You can also use this finger. It applies the lightest pressure, so the more you rub in one area, the more of the ink it'll remove, so just be mindful of that. Like I rubbed a little bit here, so it kind of came off. I do like how it looks better on, well, it depends. It's totally different depending on what you're going for. I like both. I noticed that it does come off of the leather a little bit more if it's not primed, so that's something to keep in mind. So that one's pretty much transferred. That looks sick. I'm totally happy with that. All right, we're gonna move over to the next one, which is the just the watercolor paper, the gel, and then I painted the background pink and let it dry, so I didn't transfer with the gel. I love this part. And so since I didn't wait overnight and I only waited until it was room temperature, what I might do, and what you can do too, is if you're kind of like pressed for time or you're impatient like me sometimes, you don't want to wait overnight, you just take the first pass off, so all of this stuff, and then you kind of let it dry a little bit, just a little bit, and then you can go in with your rag. So my rag is a little bit damp, and that will help. So again, just little circular motions. So see, this is coming off. I know I need to let it dry a little bit more. Or I'll just use my light pressure for now. I really do love how it looks when it's transferred onto just regular watercolor paper. See, I love that little piece that's missing. It's cool. And one of the reasons why I wanted to transfer Dom's mouth is because he uses his mouth so much in his music and how he uses his voice, and I've always been drawn to mouths and like the way that we use our voices and how we empower ourselves by using our voices. So I just wanted to play around with this a little bit. So I might in the future, if I use acrylic paint like as a background base before I transfer, I'll probably let it dry longer. That's the only thing I have. So yeah, that one's pretty cool. Done. And now we're gonna move on to the gessoed canvas. So this side is gessoed, and then the side is transferred with acrylic paint. So if you don't have the gesso, then you can just use acrylic paint. I don't know if the craft paint will work, and I don't think tempera paint will work. So I think it has to be acrylic, because it has like, acrylic paint is essentially plastic, which kind of sucks. Definitely think it transfers better with the gel than acrylic paint, but it does work with acrylic paint. See, transferring with the acrylic paint does have a particular look, right? So, but it does work. The longer you leave it, the better it is, so. Okay, and next is the wood, and this one is the one that I'm nervous about. Because I've never done this one before either, so. And it rippled, so you can see. Ooh, big chunk. It's okay. It's hard not to feel frustrated when that happens. It's very real, so just go with it. This process has taught me a lot about letting go. Because you can't really control. There's so many factors involved. So this one has a lot of missing pieces. And I think there's multiple factors in that. The ripples, the fact that this side wasn't primed, and yeah, see, that's gonna rip right off. And the wood is really thin. So if you transfer to a thicker wood, it's definitely better. I didn't have any thicker wood. This is all I have right now, so. But you get to see how it looks, which is really cool. So you can see the ghosting, what I'm talking about, like here. So sometimes, like, some people just leave it like that. They don't mind it. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. Just kind of like it. It's cool. And then so after all of this is done, what you can do, and I'll show you afterwards what we can do, we're gonna add all the finishing touches. So that's the next stage. I'm just gonna zoom out so you can see all of them together. Pretty cool. All right, stay tuned for the next part.